break through them on the other track, they might be able to snowball.
Yeah, because as fast as TNC can play, their cores are, especially I think you want to play around this DK, right? He is kind of slow. The mid game for DK is probably one of the worst period for DK to play because of his power curve.
You would say he's similar to Gyrocopter in terms of power curve, right? Hits that level 6, it's kind of his peak, and then he slows back down but climbs back up during that late game.
Well, kind of, but Gyrocopter has a steadier, power curve compared to DK.
Yeah. Looks like the game is ready, so let's jump into our first game of the day. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be forming up these lanes. Tim's will be taking the reins of that Mirana yet again. Loving the new cosmetic as well.
Here we go, that's the mid Doom, the Armel Doom. I think Armel has also played Doombringer in the middle lane before. So it's a TNT special. You take out their IO, they introduce another one.
Another kind of IO. This one might be a bit different.
I mean, Doom in general is just a super strong laner, great sustain. The Devour gives him a lot of health regen.
Yeah, I don't really see Alacrity being able to kill the Doom unless Armel makes a very big misstep in that middle lane.
I mean, if you're the Doom right now, you're not supposed to die.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to kill him. And if you want to kind of just play the lane, you can go for like an early ring of harass with the Devourer. You're just not going to die. And Doom generally trades well with his Scorched Earth and Infernal Blade. So this Void Spirit should be able to lane decently, but won't have any kill pressure on this Doom.
I'm just a little bit worried here for Reality Rift because the way that they've constructed their lineup, they want to look for these kills, but they don't want to wait until the laning phase ends. They would rather try and grab some of them before these heroes hit that level 6 because, of course, TNC, they've got amazing counter initiation themselves, right? They've got some really good heroes that could provide a lot of kickback. And usually the best time to hit them is in lane, but they're all just so dang tanky. Yeah,
and I feel like if another thing that TNC kind of has a luxury when it comes to early skirmishes is that RR, before they get their use and items that allow them to use Abyssal, it's hard for them to kill anyone from TNC. You only have the Ice Path to lock someone down, and maybe the 8th Remnant. Yeah. So any fights without the presence of this Jakiro and Void Spirit, you can just kind of TP out. Sure, you can toss as a minion stun, but there's no hard lockdowns from RR in general.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. But we'll see, maybe they can turn it in their favor. Just go for these very hyper-aggressive plays, use their ability, since that's something that their team has a lot of mobility to reposition themselves for fights. And of course, the vision from that Bounty Hunter once he hits that level 6, be kind of easy to dodge some of those fights too. Yeah. But we'll just wait. We'll have to wait and see how the lanes go, because I believe we've got some technical difficulties happening for one of the teams.
Yeah, I think KP's VPN probably, yeah, they're fixing it.
Holy moly!
Level 6 is where RR wants to play around. You get this track, and then you have the Sonic Wave and Astral Stab. These two cores create space for the PL, but they have to kind of make it happen. They have to kind of be active around them, be proactive. And it's not easy running into TNC because probably other than the Grimstroke, all the other heroes can turn around and actually fight you.
Alright, so I guess we're just going to be looking at cosmetics here while that VPN gets sorted. Still can't get over how Mirana seems to always get the best sets every year.
I mean, you can argue, right? Is this the best set? Do you think this is the prettiest set from the Collector's Cache?
I think this one's probably the most unique looking. I think a lot of them from this year's cache, some of them look very similar. Whereas this one really stands out, right? It's got that Japanese kind of theme to it, and it's just very unique looking. Almost feels like it doesn't fit in Dota. It's almost like the wrong game. You think it fits?
I think it does.
But it doesn't feel like a Mirana kind of thing. It's almost like this should be a new hero, almost.
Like those heroes with mouse have always gotten
best set.
I wouldn't say the best, like very unique themes, right? Very
sorry.
Very flashy mouth.
I love the Disruptor set. I'm glad that one's not rare.
Oh, that one's big.
Basic, excuse me.
No, as in you can get it without having to roll, like roll and pray you get. You're going to
that-
get regardless.
I'm implying that it's good enough to be a rare, but I'm glad it's not.
Yes. I can give you TI9, collect the cash.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. All right, so it looks like we are going to be starting up the game again, and I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Liquipedia this game. He's going to be the one to be setting up a lot of these kills for Reality Rift, and of course, Hawk going to have to play a big role in this as well. I think KYXY, depending on how he approaches these fights, if they can somehow peel TNC in the team fights, draw attention away in multiple directions, I think it actually might not be too bad when they go into these team fights. They have a lot of single target lockdown, but there's no AoE control on TNC, so you can't hit multiple targets with your stuns.
This is all about protecting Drew, right? He needs to not get hit by the Primal Rod, not get boomed by RML, and if all these big spells can disable a PL is not used on him, or he somehow dodges it, or he survives through it, then I think RR will have a better chance of fighting. Yeah. But we saw RML start out with a Buckler strat tangle, and he went for Devour and Scorched Earth. So it's impossible to kill him right now in the lane, but Nuts, we just have to kind of constantly babysit this PL.
Yeah, they kind of have to just cop it on the chin here. But interesting build here from Nuts. He's put a point into that Liquefier, so of course he wants to try and get some of the harass damage in.
The South got cancelled by the Wild Access. Oh, KP just really laying it into Drew.
Now down in the bottom lane, it looks like it's TNC to kind of struggle. Gabby taking a lot of harassment damage from the Bounty Hunter, and Pop, we know how crazy Pop is in the laning stage when she just constantly throws daggers at you, and she has that range advantage. Even though you've got the HP regen on the DK, you've still got to be careful.
But I think Gabby, for the first few levels, suffers a bit, but once he gets to level 2 in Dragon Blood and the Soul Ring, KYXY shouldn't be able to kill him. RML getting pushed out of the lane. Not a good idea to trade with the Void Spirit when he has the Resonant Pulse, but there's a Doombringer. He will always be able to stay alive in the lane. You can even go to the jungle, scout for the camp, see if you get the Centaur or Hellbear. You can just take that and come back into the lane. Those auras definitely help.
I do like that he's building up all this armor first too, because Doom naturally only starts off with that, almost nothing for armor. So just build the armor, very efficient way of just mitigating all that physical right click that's going to be coming out of Alacrity. Still needs to be careful though, because unfortunately, although Doom has that Scorched Earth, he's not as mobile as your typical mid laners. So there is a chance he might get sniped out by Alacrity, especially once he hits that level 6.
Yep, and well, there's reason changes to the side camps in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Is that RML, he got the troll priest, so he can, now you just can't kill him, just heals himself. 5 mana, pretty convenient.
Just gonna try and outlast.
Yeah, just both mid lane trying to last hit, but eventually RML will be able to outlast Alacrity. And that's where first blood's gonna happen. KYXY laying it onto Gabby, Dragon Knight goes down. And it seems like March is going to get gone on as March. We can toss to slow him down. They have the Shadow Poison. He turns around with Stroke of Fate, and Nuzlocke, well, tanks a bit too much tower damage, and he goes down.
Yeah, a little bit of a deep dive, but they did manage to take out that DK, the most important target in that lane. And even though you have all that armor, unless you've got something to turn around with, they're just going to poke and prod you to death. But it's not the end of the world for the DK. He'll just go back into lane, and unfortunately for KYXY, he is injured, so it's going to be tougher for him to try and jump onto the DK yet again.
Yeah, I'm surprised that RR decided to just commit straight onto this Grimstroke. But
right under the tower.
Yeah, it was pretty bold move, but they definitely bit on more than they can chew. Yeah. It could have been an avoidable death. I think KYXY bailed at the last minute. He just blinked away, and Hustler was left to die.
Yeah, but look at all this constant harassment coming in from Bounty Hunter and the Qual. Looks like top lane, they're also getting pushed out as well. Tim's very low on that Mirana. Just going to be spinning at that lane. But Beastmaster, he should be alright. He is much tankier than that Mirana, so he can just stay in lane.
And I like how Nuts went for the Dual Breath and Liquid Fire. Good against the board, slows down the attack speed. But that's in the bottom lane, Hustler caught out. But the die doesn't fade away in time. KYXY, he can't go on to Gabby, so he's gonna turn ahead and not in a good position. Tims will shoot him down. Drew. We're looking for a bit of retribution with the Phantom Rush and Spirit Lance, but TNC has the lead and he gets away. TNC, 2 kills across the map.
Yep, they still have one more leap available as well. So Drew did try and continue to chase that Mirana. Tim's had a way of getting out there. Very unfortunate in that top lane. You don't want to be losing that hero, but they are still keeping that PL protected and he's not being denied farm in that lane. So I think just killing off the Jakiro, it hurts a little, but it doesn't destroy this lane here for Reality Rift. As long as they keep Drew farming, that's the goal with the PL. He's going to be the one that hits critical mass this game.
And Lack actually made his way to bot lane. And he was not able to accomplish anything, so no choice. He has to TP back to deal with Armel. She has absolutely no way of dealing with Armel. Is not.
Do they want to back Beastmaster there? I think they were thinking about it.
There's no way that they could do it.
I think they spotted Nuts.
So at least they have vision of March, so they can kill him control, no problem. March will just have to surrender his life.
Anti-Hunter and Quap, what a pain of a matchup.
Yeah, well, you can't really kill the Dragon Knight right now, so you just go for support. But either he rotates and make a play, or he just stays there and farm with alongside Armel, because there's no way he can kill the Doom.
Gabby's exposed all by himself, but can hide under that tower.
Yep.
Lots of harassment there.
Oh man, the magic damage is so annoying to deal with. It's gonna go for level 3 Dragon Blood just for the extra mistake. But once KRXY gets the Sonic Wave, then it's gonna be super easy to just kill the Dragon Knight.
Yeah. Looks like Nuts is being chased. I think he's trying to go for some kind of warding mission or to kill off a courier of some kind, but
Actually, it's a killing spree, and meanwhile Nuts is gonna get run down by both KP and Tim. It is fine, it's a post 5, just sort of wave as much as you can.
I think, who was it that said this is what a lot of people would consider tactical feeding.
Tactical feeding, yes.
Yeah, they're opening up the lane for Drew, he's not being harassed, Nuts might die, but a small price to pay to make sure that PL gets a free lane.
Okay, by now he got used to it. Oh, but it's a rotation for Armel. Squash as infused, they have the dust, they get the dust of Hustler. Looking okay, KRXY though, they get the Doom on this Queen of Pain. Alacrity shows up in the back last, kills on March, but Armel should be able to chop KRXY to death, but now has to get away. Squash, bonus moments be pretty nifty in this situation, and I don't think Alacrity can catch up to him, so Armel just does a GTA and get away.
That's a pretty good trade too for TNC. They get the Quap in exchange for the Grimstroke. So I'm going to be pretty happy with that one. Although Doom did get used, so this is a bit of an opening for Reality Rift if they want to try and go for a kill now, knowing that Doom is on cooldown. Doom is probably going to be one of their biggest limiting factors when they want to try and go into those fights. You always have to be aware of where's that Doom and is it off cooldown.
Yeah, and Armel is probably the strongest hero on the map right now for TNC. He's going to go for the drum and the classic Doombringer build. Go for phase boot drops and just start running. He's also a great carry of the Vlad. He doesn't really care about the lifesteal, but because of the Vlad change, it gives him more incentive to go for it. And Tim just throws the arrow and his face with Drew. He's not gonna stand for that. He'll take his fight to Tim, but Tim will get away.
Cool, that new rotation here. They're bringing the Grimstroke with KP and they want to go for Nuts.
Nuts is dead. Well, right on top of him. This is not a good game for a post-5 hero, but I'm pretty sure Nuts is used to it by now, as Armel will pick up that fresh drums. This will just re-amplify his impact across the map. And of course, laning against Alacrity is not a problem anymore. This Doom is just too hard to kill. He got the Ogre camp, now he has the Frost armor, even more tankiness in terms of how to fight.
Actually, you know who this reminds me of? I think this was a long time ago. Do you remember the Eternal Envy Aura Doom?
Oh yeah.
He built all that armor, he had the Frost Ogre still as well. It was ridiculous. You just couldn't kill him. I don't know if they won the game, but it kind of reminds me of that moment. Deleted.
Instantly blown up.
There we go, back to Fountain. Alright.
No track kill though, unlucky. Katla hasn't been able to get much experience, so no level 6 for him just yet. But it's okay, they kind of play out the jungle if Tims was there to place some visions, scout the stacks that might possibly be done for Drew, but
are there stacks for
I don't think there are any stacks. No.
Yeah.
I think Tims is just there to, you know how some Miranas they just go into a jungle, they Sacred Arrow your biggest jungle creep and then leave it there. So you actually farm lesser when you try to go for those camp.
I mean, that's the benefit of Mirana, just this was a change from a long time ago, but the arrows being able to one-shot creeps helps her farm, and just being able to deny the enemy farm, such a big deal. Oh, got a pause here, so it looks like Armel, yeah, it looks like Armel's still having issues. So we're just gonna wait and see if they're able to get that fixed up.
Yeah, I think whenever Armia has the Doom or whenever KP has the Primal Roar, they can just go for a lane. And you know, you kill the enemy laner and you just go for the towers, just go for the objectives.
Yeah. Especially now because they, excuse me, there's no to hold the skills. There's no reason for them to wait for Reality Rift to come to them. They can take the fight to Reality Rift and say, we've got Roar, we've got Doom. You can even say, hey, we've got Dragon Tail as well, right? Really big disables. It should be easy to kill off heroes as long as they can land those lockdowns because Pop, very squishy. PL early on, also very squishy if you can single him out from his illusions. And even Void Spirit, he's very vulnerable if you have any kind of hard lockdown on hit for him.
I really would love it if Gabby goes for the Blink Dagger. The first on the Dragon. Because Armel is also going for the Blink Dagger, so if you can kind of just jump on one target and do more Primal they have vision of Hustler though, and Hustler gets the track off, but he wants to track down straight into an arrow. He's not gonna make it out.
I'm very sure that he knows that there's a detection there now, so.
The Awakening and Armel, he has to Doom, so likely he needs to get away. Rather just to keep Armel in place. TP's coming in from Nuts. They want to hold this lane, but I don't think they can.
They got to be careful because Armel still has that Doom, and you can see Alacrity, he doesn't want to show himself because, of course, if he gets hit by that Doom, it's pretty much game over for the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it is a tough situation for RR to be in. They have the TNC have vision with the Hawk, so KP place it, you know, in the line. So definitely knows where RR is, how many members are there. They brought KYX right to the top lane as well to expect. However, TNC, they can just play slow. They are not in a rush at all.
I like the grouping up for TNC because it's very hard to gank them if they're grouped up together. They've got so much CC, their heroes are just naturally tanky. The ideal situation for Reality Rift is to go for single hero picks. Just isolate them, kill them when they're alone. Obviously that's the easiest way to execute. But with three big heroes such as Doom, Mirana, Beastmaster in the top lane threatening to push, you've got to defend the tower as well. You can't afford to lose towers against this line because everything's just going to snowball out of control. They need to keep that map up and through.
As long as TNC death balls, I don't think RR has a way to fight them right now, but it seems like Gabby is going for the first item rate. Super good against the PL illusions, just relying on Armel to engage with the Blink Dagger, and you have to acknowledge Primal Roar. I think Gabby will have a pretty decent time just farming up this Radiance that will eventually help him deal with the Phantom Lancer. This tier 1 is definitely going to go down. As Armel stands in front, there's no way the RR can defend this. He's gonna try a hunt for Nuts. His Nuts throws out the Magpire, but he knows his life is gonna be forfeited. Just clear out the wave and Arm will pick up the kill.
I guess it cleared out the pre-play to slow this push down, but no way in Sky they're going to be able to protect this tower. So Space Lady tier 1 going to go down unfortunately for Reality Rift. Looks like they're trying to look for kills elsewhere. You can see down towards the Rift, but they're all actually rotating towards enemy jungle trying to avoid the death ball.
Yeah, you just need to play away from the top side of the jungle, I feel.
Are they trying to rotate down to the DK? It looks like they're considering it, and there's even the line drawn.
But if they go on the DK, TNC can just mass TP, so I don't think RR has much choice to work with. You have March on this Grimstroke who can just clear out waves with the Stroke of Fate. Great way to handle lanes when your cores are not around. Honestly, I think from the get-go, the draft from TNC is it just takes off all the boxes and it really limits what RR can do. Now RR, they are not winning the lanes per se, they are kind of just going even. So TNC have free routine of most of the maps. You hear the Primal Roar and it's going to be, well, Nuts once more to take it down.
Dragon goes down, slain.
Oh, the Blink Dagger reveal. Alacrity, he's not going to get up to this one. TNC just makes it look so easy.
Oh, the hard lockdown really starting to come in now. The Dragon Tails, Blink Daggers, and of course that Doom annihilate anybody on the side of Reality Rift. I'm not sure about the draft from Reality Rift. Like, you could see that they wanted to try and go for a very gank-heavy, very aggressive draft, but they're playing defensive.
Yeah, this entire draft is centered around this Void Spirit being able to move around the map, this Twin Pain, playing alongside this Bounty Hunter, and of course you create as much space as you can for the PL. But the problem now is Void Spirit didn't win this lane, KOX, you got some early kills on Gabby and Mark, but that's pretty much it. moment level 6 happened, they actually have not many ways to fight, but they're going to try it on to get the storm coming down, but similarly they have guys from Way behind KOXY. So Bai gonna tie out both Alacrity and KOXY, so they're really trying to get Gabby, who is trying to get denied by Rosa. Rosa's gonna help out, and he actually gets denied. So RR, they get nothing in return. The rest of TNC, they say, we are out and we're gonna take the Jakiro with us.
That is gotta hurt. They really wanted to grab that kill onto Gabby. So it seems that it's a lot of defensive plays from Reality Rift, but I guess another thing I want to kind of do with this is that they've got a very chasey lineup. If you ever see TNC retreating, you've got the attack to track them down, you've got the Quap as well, Voice Spirit to jump on for them as well. So maybe what they're hoping to do is that they wait for TNC to at least retreat, use up all their big spells, and then hunt them down when they're trying to get safety. Unfortunately, we kind of saw a draft come in action, and they couldn't really kill anybody.
That's kind of the window they have to play with right now. No Doom, no Primal Raw. The window isn't that huge. Unless they get run down once more. This is very hard. This is every job, right? This is like a boring desk job where you come out, you could maybe you hide. Lappy might try, but Armel, they have to put it back in mud. This is a skill that they definitely need. And Gabby wants to run away. No one to save the Aether Dragon. Able to move it back. Crystal on the aim. They get action. They get hostile in. Now to the track. Extra right tail. Picking the back line. But they get the Sacred Arrow onto the Alacrity. Gabby goes down. They get the track with Alacrity with the rest of power. They try to create some distance, but they do have the Primal Rod to block him down. And KYXY, he has to get away, but he's slowed down. You have the Ink Storm to catch on to him, and he eventually still goes down to Tim's. And TNC being able to turn the fight around.
That Starfall coming in to finish off that quad, that really hurt to Reality Rift. Again, you could see that they're trying to hunt down TNC when all their major spells are cooldown, but you could see that TNC, they were prepared for it. They knew that there's a good chance that we were going to end up in an engagement in that top lane, so they just brought everybody in. That death wall, it's just too powerful unless you can somehow get these heroes separated.
Well, the good news is they got the track of Gabby, so that's a minor rejection for both KYXY and Alacrity. But other than that,
is it worth losing 3 heroes though?
Yeah, they end up losing out 2 cores, so this is still a win in TNC's book.
And look at what the DK is building. He's actually building a Radiance.
Yeah, perfect against the PR Illusions. You can just stand in the fight. You have Doom and you have the Beastmaster to just stay there with you, play alongside you. It's so hard for RR to play once he gets that radiance.
Yeah, so this death ball is just gonna get bigger and bigger, especially when you get ball rolling. I don't think there's really any way for Reality Rift to retaliate, especially when they come into these fights. We've got the smoke right here, and of course, because you have a Verana on your team, Moonlight Shadow should be coming through under. But this backstab is going to hurt because it's a Doom backstab.
They see Drew low, and he's halfway link instant boom. Doesn't even get to doppelganger up. This is not going anywhere. He's dead.
Everyone's just on the retreat. Alacrity just keeping up top. Everyone just trying to get out of there. Oh, they found Hustler.
And this bounty hunter also be given away to TNC. This is just not a safe place for RR to be playing. And this is the reality that they have to deal with right now. Whenever Doom and Pyro are online, they just have to minimize their losses.
Yeah. Maybe the draft was a bit of a giveaway for Reality Rift. They showed the Bounty Hunter quite early. They lost the Queen of Pain for XY. Alacrity, of course, we know what he does with the Void Spirit, always going to play hyper aggressive, just going to be the root playmaker for the team, and they're trying to make sure that Drew can be the insurance policy, but it's not good if your insurance policy is down sometimes, because you still got to get that farm on them here.
The supports need to get defensive items like a Glimmer, Lotus Orb, Sphere, Force Staff, just for all these cores, because again, they have no way to get away from the Primal Raw, they have no way to get away from the Doom.
I'm not sure if it would really work, because CTNC's already preemptively out there.
But these are to start things off by killing off Armel. Very early piece of KOXY. That is really gonna help with the reviving onslaught of TNC. So with this Doom out of the picture, RR will have a bit of space to work with, as Moonlight Shadow will eventually expire.
And that's going to be unavailable as well for 2 minutes. That's unfortunate because, of course, they would love to have that for any kind of aggressive maneuvers, but yeah, they had to try and do their best to protect that Doom. So they're actually good at losing this tower, especially with the Jakiro in lane. So good at clearing those creeps, and the Liquifire just eats through that tower.
Yep. The fortification is used, but Macropire makes sure the creep wave dives anyways. And RR now they can have a bit more breathing room to take control of bottom jungle. The start TNC. They have this 4 stacks, Ancients, 4 Catacombs.
I have to say, props to TNC. They're very disciplined with all this stacking.
Yeah, he's getting Radiant right after this.
This is something you'd actually have to look out for if you're a Reality Rift. Like this is actually a really big difference because we have seen no stacks on the side of Reality Rift for Drew, but for TNC, it's not just the support stacking for the cores. Even DK was stacking for himself earlier in that bottom lane, so he's flash farming and aiming for that BKB. Once that BKB is up, of course after the Radiance, but this DK is going to eventually just out-itemize the PL.
Just the efficiency at its finest.
Exactly. I feel like this is something that maybe Reality Rift need to consider going into the next games. Having the supports consider going for more pulls maybe. Drew, considering that Nuts died multiple times in lane, you kind of would have expected maybe get some stacks ready for Drew since he wasn't really pressured in that lane.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I think Nut wants to protect Drew, but if he leaves Drew alone, this Beastmaster will run him down. See the itemization from TNC. Armel is going to go for the Shiva's card eventually, like right after his BKB. That's going to deal with the PL illusion. You have Tim's going for the Veil of Discord. That's going to destroy PL illusions and have the Radiance from Gabby, which is also great against Phantom Lance. And that is before, that is not even including the fact that Gabby can't go for the Mjolnir and for the Chain Lightning. So this PL, his game is not going to get any easier from this point onwards.
Absolutely not. It's all going to come down to these team fights. If they can win the fights and get some of the track gold, that might be one of the ways that they sort of come back into the fold. Just make sure they can itemize that PL to just be really that big tanky PL that we're so used to seeing. But for now, Drew's still playing catch up. He's still got a long way to go. He's not done yet.
Yeah, his net worth right now, well, he might have the highest worth, but he's not as effective as the other members on the side of TNC.
You don't even want to fight if you're that PL, because if you come to those fights, he's going to have a big tug on his forehead for a Roar, a Doom, a Dragon Tail. If any of these three hit him, he's dead. He only has 1.3k HP. There's more than enough left on TNC to kill him.
So he has to go for the Expansion Yasha. Extra stats, extra health, magic status resistance for the PL. Just
big item for the Doom.
Fighting
the BKB.
Yep. Once his BKB starts, having shorter duration, Gabby's BKB come online, so TNC can really play around this timing. They have such a huge window to deal with RR right now. RR the axe on Alacrity, but Alacrity has to do a lot of heavy lifting. He does see the Moonlight Shadow, just ran out, so he can go on to March. Max coming from TNC. Alacrity get kill off Marv, that's the bounty claim. He has to get out, and Armor is gonna bang him. Link strike impatient with that storm. Alacrity tries to tease out the vision of him. They get him rooted, and he's not going anywhere. Spirit storm from the center conqueror. And Armor says, I have that ability. They kill off Alacrity. Hustler also dies on the other side. They trick KP in return.
Oh, that's not a kill that you want to go for. Group stroke, but you're using your voice spirit, and of course Hustler dying on the other side of the map. You really want to be taking these small, even if it's just the tiniest of skirmishes, just pick up a support. It's already a little victory for Reality Rift, but they need many victories to really come back equal in this match. And so far, it just looks like they're unable to really find any openings. TNC, they're just so good at reacting to these team fights. It just seems like they put the 6-7 no when they should be going in for the mass TPs.
Yep.
But the good news is that this is a nice little push up because TNC is most of the TPs in that bottom lane. So reinforcement's not going to be that strong up until that point, but they just leave the tower. It looks like they want to play ultra safe.
Yeah, TNC mass TP bot, they kill off Alacrity, and they immediately start top. There's no way that Outlander can take down the tower in time, so now they're top.
It almost feels like they're trying to make all these little plays work, but it's too many high risk, low reward payoffs.
This really tests RR's mettle, because we talked about how they have an issue where when it comes to the mid game, our decision making hasn't been the best, right? And now they're up against TNC, which is obviously more experienced than them. This will really test how they make decisions around what TNC is right now. And you can see TNC, they're not going to stop.
No, they don't need to.
Back up.
Why should they stop? Raw, they're also getting very close to another blink deck, this time on the Beastmaster, and Doom's but building a Shiva's Guard. And the reason why that item is huge is that if he blinks in, pops that Shiva's Guard, there is no way to get out of that fight if you're Reality Rift.
Yeah, it's amazing against the PL illusions and curse of the Spirit Vessel aura. Now your Garden Greaves isn't as good as it was.
Absolutely. And how do you kill the Doom too? Because it's just building so much armor.
Yeah, you're not supposed to kill it. And Doom is just a really tanky initiator that also deals damage. The immediate smoke from TNC, they use the Light Shadow. Drew, he breaks the smoke, he has no idea that TNC is there. He doppelgangers, Phantom runs out of the way, Spirit Vessel on top of him. He's on top of Gabby, though Gabby really stuns him. They take it down with Radiance. Tails will find that kill with the Sacred Arrow, and immediately they have to get the heck out of that area.
But they still lost the PL though. They couldn't afford to lose Drew. Oh my goodness.
Yep, this is unfortunate for RR. They don't have vision in the jungle, or they have the sentry, but when the smoke broke, it wasn't around the sentry area, so there's just no way that PL can get away. Nuts now gets jumped on, the Infernal Blade is just gonna roast him. Dragon for lunch. That's the matter of fact right now for TNC.
The lineup is just so efficient for TNC. You've got a way to... They've got lots of vision to work with from the Beastmaster. You've got technically a free smoke on the Miranda because of the Moonlight Shadow, allowing you to go for all these plays, just to scout around as a defensive spell as well. It's really hard to move around the map for Reality Rift. You have to feel for them. They keep wanting to make these things happen, but Drew just ends up collateral damage every single time. They need Drew to stay alive, but no matter where he goes, he's just being hunted down.
Yeah, Vessel, they didn't even need it to more Primal for the PL, and this is like we both agreed on. The RR has very little window to work with.
Well, I think it's so small. I don't think anyone really fit through that window. So now it's actually up to TNC to make the correct plays here. Because of course, Reality Rift, we can't ignore the fact that they're actually very good at utilizing mistakes. If TNC makes a mistake, if they use the skill too early, if they waste a spell, the chase potential on Reality Rift is huge. They can chase, they've got the Bounty Hunter track to give them vision, they've got Queen of Pain and Void Spirit, very mobile here that want to be chasing and looking for kills. And then you've got Shakiro, who's actually very good when it comes to locking down targets that get initiated by that Void Spirit. But again, are TNC making these mistakes? Not really.
TNC, this is their game to lose. You can see
it's going to be high ground, I think. Ground will determine whether they convincingly take this game or if Drew is able to keep this game alive.
Yeah, because of the amount of control that TNC exerted across the map, RR, they're playing on the dangerous side of the map, constantly playing TNC's jungle. XY got his Lincoln Sphere, good news.
You know, something that must really be painful for Reality Rift is that in most games you can buy one item and it kind of fixes all your issues. But when you look at what TNC had, you'll look at a completely different item. Primal Raw goes through BKB, of course BKB's usual item to pick up, right? Doom goes through BKB, Primal Raw goes through BKB, and then if you don't go for those items, then you're still dealing with the Dragon Tail as well. You also have the Mirana Arrow, which is usually set up by the team too, and then you've got the Grimstroke. Oh, like you have to buy an item, but that item instantly gets countered by two heroes automatically.
And the Liquipedia immediately gets gone off the A12 link Primal Raw. That's the dagger reveal for KP. Biggest void indeed. Lincoln Sphere from KRX, it's gonna be just on Liquipedia and Drew, and they still need that Lotus Sword. This Lincoln is not enough, so KRX is gonna be the utility man, and now Armel is gonna be Drew.
Bro.
Still has the Doom with him. The rest of TNC,
they're all hiding in the tree lines. You can see how scared they are to move around the map.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that really puts a lot of stress on the players and how they maneuver around the map, because you don't have vision advantage, you don't have map advantage, you don't have map control. And if you show on the map, TNC finds you, it guaranteed kill.
Pretty big time hustler to actually give it team vision as well. I've been seeing him just constantly throwing out those traps, and of course that helps out the team because they can at least see where some of these heroes are moving. But we've got Tim. I think Tim says a Yule Scepter, so yes he does. He's been actually ulting off the track, so it's more or less not that done on that.
They've got a jab on Mud as well, so Hustler can't really hide. Speaking of that, level 3 Necro also pretty decent against Hustler. It's not level 3 just yet from KP, but it doesn't really matter. Debbie on the hunt as well, this bounty hunter not able to hide in the tree lines while Axis gonna cut them out. And you know what, they pretty much run into him, and Hustler is...
Well, he can take them on a bit of a boost chase.
The Lincoln blocks out the Doom. It's gonna Blackly and try will put his life down. So it's safety, but with his own blink, BKB gonna stop his killing spree for this Boom.
You got a blink ability? I've got one too. I got blink dagger.
They blocked out the Doom, so Blackly survived. No Doom for RML.
But does it really matter though? They're not worried just the Doom, right? There's so many other spells you've got to be worried about for reality.
Yeah.
Climbing down bottom, but
Power's going down.
you have to think like, when is it time for the PL to have to come back? And Drew just finished his Satanic, all things. So is this time for Drew just to come in and help out?
Well, he definitely has Iron Man stuff to fight, but
is that enough?
Well, we'll find out. Waiting for RML, Shiva's gotta go. Enough to survive. So on top of the Doom, just deterred PL. Can't really run into TNC in any form, shape, or manner.
Yep.
Now the jab is also on RML, so Hustler can't really sneak behind this TNC lineup.
Oh, I've got another smoke here. Didn't include Gabby, but they can hide behind that DK.
Oh, big daggers for TNC as well. RML almost gets found out. Still see him, but TNC gets Gabby for Dragon on another arm. He gets silenced by the Resonance Pulse. Meanwhile, KP fights by roll on the Hustler down. Anyway, really huge hits on the board. The West up from that, but he gets trying to go on a retreat more through now as the team. They managed hard, they need more than that. I found Sacrifice right down. Gabby pop his fresh BKB and stand his ground. I think it's Drew getting burned out by the Radiance. Shiva's guys also around. His team will leap away, but it seems like they're trying to go for a chase. Gabby is the one isolated, but he managed to fly to safety as well. Alacrity trying to look for any stragglers, but TNC is clean disengaged from that fight.
Oh, there we go. We're starting to see Drew kick on that PL, and this was what you've been waiting for in Reality Rift. You need your powerhouse to come into the fight, and I guess you could always argue the anti-mage factor. It's like, oh, I'm farming team things with Holy. Of course, to get more items, but now TNC, they're going to be hard-pressed to actually finish this game as soon as they can, because we've seen games get completely turned around because they're dealing with the very fat PL. And the one thing that PL actually does this game is that, of course, as you get tankier, the illusions get more difficult to clear out. Of course, we did see TNC clear out the illusions reasonably well as well, but eventually, they aren't going to have enough damage to kill the main PL.
Well,
They've been using a lot to lock down the Quap, lock down the Void Spirit, so now they have to selectively decide to leave alive so that we have enough damage to kill off.
But that will be solved eventually by RML. Oh, Moonlight Shadow, Alacrity. No idea. Linkus blocks out the Phantom's Embrace. Hater, Remnant, Astral Stab gets back up. No stun. Means that actually gets away. But KYX now getting on. And the Doom for RML. KYX, right? Getting hunted down. But Shiva's got, he has the TP out as well. But RML can find him there in time. No, it's not.
Very close. Almost had it. But now it is Reality Rift's time to come back, because this goal of theirs to keep the game going, to make sure that it hasn't ended, means that Drew's still farming.
Yeah, and
Drew just has to get bigger. This is only possible.
Gabby getting his Black Dragon, the Aghanim almost done. RML as well going for his own Aghanim, the Inferno Blade now. It's going to be even deadlier than used against the any team, especially if he gets on the Drew. Actually, so they need to be checking the inventories of these TNC members. And they're playing on the top triangle of TNC jungle, which is playing as far away as they can from the Philippine wall.
They're just soft. chance of popping fights, really.
This is smart move from RR. They just don't want to be directly in conflict with TNC right now.
I mean, they have no reason to really contest for that tower. They probably know that if we go down there, we're going to get picked off by a Doom. There's a Beastmaster. They've got the high ground advantage. There's no reason to fight.
Best TP though. Gabby just got his back dragon. This axe is pretty good. Matt TP. Arrow hits onto Hustler. But National also as well. Going for the full retreat, but Gabby immediately found out that's gonna be a dive for the Jakiro. They would just have to surrender him for 70 seconds, but R now finds a bigger target. He does break this Void Spirit. Down break panic is so strong. Alacrity with this, they try to get away, but Gabby on the scale, he has to cancel his TP, and he will be taken down as well. He can finish that, but it doesn't matter. TNC still kill off this Spirit.
That was a long chase. They almost lost him, but not enough Alacrity to get out there. And it's just buying time. They're losing heroes on the side of Reality Rift, but they just have to continue pushing their PL forward. They gotta keep Drew farming. As long as Drew doesn't die, it's good news. Because that PL will be a huge factor going into those fights late game. But of course, one of his biggest factors is that refusal rate. The mana burn is huge. And they get KYXY. Oh dear, not something that you want.
I don't think of that right, and the block from TNC, they can only play with their 3 daggers, 3 cores that have solo kill potential, and because RR really save the team, just difficult for RR to stand up against TNC. Although they do have a window right now, there's no Doom, there's no Primal Raw. RR need they need KOX and Alacrity, so that means 30 more seconds to defend this set of frags. Back to position, kick in. Gabby turns into the dragon, and then he can also do anything.
That mana burn is actually going to really hurt if they end up coming into any kind of conflict, because you won't really have enough mana for a dragon fail here.
TP is coming in from Alacrity. Once again, get the off. Happy, honestly, very positive BKB get out, and Armel also has to get safety. So Pressure comes out. RR, they need a bit of detection to stick onto TNC, but look at how fast TNC are running. Phantom comes in from Drew. He wants to get onto Doom, and it's not stopping. He said, I'm not afraid, baby. With Yuzo on top of Armel, they use him out into an arrow from Tiz. Perfectly done. Stop Drew, but Drew with Doppelganger. Another Phantom Rush, courtesy of Hustler's drag, but they need to kill him off. And now they turn around. KP, he actually brought the illusion. That means Armel will be taken. And now Tiz not in a good spot, has to leap away, but they have the track and the Spirit Vessel onto him. Frost Staff will keep him safe. But at least Reality Rift, their perseverance paid off. Doom.
That mana burn is actually really going to be an issue for TNC. We saw that fortunately for DK, if he had enough mana for a dragon tail, he actually would have been more confident going up into, and maybe they would have actually escaped into Reality Rift, but because he ran out of mana, he popped this stick early as well, realized, wait, I don't have enough for a dragon, he had to go for a full-on retreat.
And now no Primal Raw means that RR, they found their window, Gabby from BKB, and now there's the soul buy onto Drew. The why is he there? Sonic Wave is pretty huge, but then to get Drew out, Drew getting a lot of damage on him. Lincoln Field on top as well. He popped the Satanic and Manfire arm now. Look at that lifesteal. He's gonna broke up an Infernal Blade, but he needs to get out, and he might not have the luxury though. Surviving on the slither of hell, the Guardian Grease, the regeneration, keep Drew alive, and they actually get Gabby. And another track comes in for Hustler. The power from RR Strap coming online. Interraptor pulling back this Mirror Mirror leaps away. Team gets the safety, but KYXY, he has his sight onto KP. But Shadow Poison is stronger. Tim's get taken out on screen, and KP is gonna beat his drum. His last stand throws out the wild axes. KYXY will eventually reach. Anything one more shuriken. Come on, Hustler. Shadow Poison, Spider. That should be KP Darkness. Great fight from RR, and through all that, kept the PL alive.
And then putting a Tiger. Oh, this is not what you want at TNC. TNC have built so much lead coming into this game. They were actually threatening to finish the game earlier on, but after that one misplay in that time when they were trying to retreat, they get a big kill on the Doom, and of course you're dealing with the Bounty Hunter. And fights, when you're up against the Bounty Hunter, you have to play convincingly, otherwise the Bounty Gold gives a huge advantage to the Bounty team.
Well, TNC at one point, they almost had a 10k gold lead, now down to 2,000. A huge goal swing in favor of RR. you know, the kill of Armel because KP missed his Primal Roar. It hit PL Illusion. He bought back without Primal Roar, and RR says, well, you have no doom for Primal Roar. We just can fight straight to your doorstep. That's the first, you know, power down, and now the blink in double doom. Got Alacrity, and now the Primal Roar is gonna split the battle lines of RR. TNC wants this fight, and they're gonna get Nas. They're gonna get Alacrity. They should pull trip on through, but he gets done now and broken. This is the break TNC needs a doppelganger. He pops the Titanic, he stands his ground, but 5 members of TNC right on top of him. They will get the Aegis. Drew's gonna come back to life, but they felt compelled to fight. They actually didn't get the outpost. The Alacrity has to go all the way. That is not the fight you want. He eats the cheese, but even the cheese is not gonna keep Drew alive. One last doppelganger. He wants to play a little bit of footsie. Drew getting slowed up with a Demon's Guard, and Armel will eventually pull him off, but at least Mark gets taken out. They find both supports of TNC. RR, this fight is over for them, and TNC will hold their high now. Also tries to run away. He'll be able to get out.
Did Gabby pop BKB?
Yeah, just strong edges. But nonetheless, it's TNC being able to hold the fort. That's the Aegis, and Cheese RR get too much out of that.
I think that was a misclick from Gabby. He popped the BKB after they killed KYXY.
And Armel, he has the gem. No, actually, no. What is it, Hustler?
Hustler kind of playing with death here. Well, it was a good run for Reality Rift. They managed to take that mid set of racks, stuck around a little bit too long, unfortunately. They could have actually gotten out of there scot-free, could have kept the Aegis, but they decided to press the issue down in that bottom lane. And of course, the reinforcements, TNC it was there, and their lead goes back up to 7K. So it dropped down to 3K. Those kills that they got back, pretty big kill. So a bit of a swing to TNC. It's not over yet. The game isn't... I think some would think, oh, now it's lopsided, it's going to be PL favored. Not necessarily, right? It's all down to TNC and how they approach these team fights. If they can lock down the correct heroes, especially if they can get that Doom onto Drew, that's the big spell. Once they catch out the PL, that's basically it for Reality Rift. That PL is the source of damage.
If you kill PL, you win the game. As well, Armel go for the Octarine core next.
Finally get to see a Voodoo Mouse.
And finally, this dude might not even die in the fight right now. I'm so curious now. Also being purchased by Gabby. Even more tankiness for TNC in fight. So if the last fight that RR won was from blood, sweat, and tears, they're gonna have to more of that to take out TNC.
I'm not sure if that's a very nice way, but if anything, you're gonna play a harder, right?
Yeah.
We are looking at the Grimstroke here, and he's aiming for the Aghanims, and we've seen what Aghanims has done in previous matches. I think it was 2 weeks ago we saw a Aghanims rush. Of course, this is not a rush as well, but that copy coming in from the Grimstroke, that could actually be the one thing that ticks it over in favor of TNC. Of course, if you make a copy of the PL,
Yeah.
I think that might just be it.
Yeah, the extra damage, you can't really target it, and it beats you to death. So
I mean, the PL essentially count. Like, let's say they make a copy of the PL, it counters everything that Reality Rift has.
yeah, RR, they are still kind of on a timer, right? Even though they won that fight, they got that one set of racks. They are still back because TNC has been itemizing perfectly against RR's draft. Every single item progression has served a purpose to take out the PL. And we saw an off-train core coming, being item for Armel, Gabby getting the Stock Curious, and now you have the Aghanim being queued out and marked as well.
Yeah. So now it's just a matter of when and for who. Who's making the next move? Is it going to be Reality Rift? Do they feel like they're the ones that are hard-pressed to make the move, or is it still TNC to sort of keep this game under wraps? Because we've seen what happened when Reality Rift, they find an opening to try and start chasing down TNC. TNC end up just having to run away. Because we know what happens. There's so much chaseability. The bounty hunter tracks, the fact that Alacrity as well as KYXY, insanely mobile heroes, they're so good at chasing. And of course you've got the PL, which you cannot out-juke a PL. No way if he's got vision on you.
Yeah, you just need to, for RR, it's the same formula the entire game. Just need to outlast this Doom and Primal Raw and fight with those small windows, right? Because we saw the one fight that they won that led to the Roshan and the Rex was the window where KP had no Primal Raw, Armel had no Doom. They were able to kind of run them down, and they forced the buyback from the Beastmaster as well.
Yeah.
So that is the opportunity that RR is constantly searching for. But when they have all their ultimates up, you can see how TNC just held high ground in that bot lane.
So we saw Drew a little bit earlier. He's actually aiming for a Scar as his next item, and I feel like that Scardy is going to make him such a lethal hero in these team fights, because as of now the only way PNC can kind of get away from him to juke away from him, if you can actually avoid getting hit for a couple moments, of course with that Link, but with the Scardy I don't think you're going to be able to out-juke that PL, and of course you're feeling reduction coming in from Scardy too, right?
Yep.
So that's going to really hurt the Doom.
You just want to tank up right now as a PL and fight. Stand your ground if you just Kate for Gabby.
Actually, if the illusion hit anyone from TNC, they all get slowed.
Yep.
So that might be the positional advantage that Reality Rush need, but for now they've got to defend their...
This is the ultra late game right now.
Scardy is fun.
We'll get a CD for Drew. The ice cap on top of Gabby and Wagland. Come on, X, but they engage on team fade away. XY stun and take it now. Instant buyback. But there's the blink. It gets on top of the Drew. Drew is in the middle of the fight. My friend, what are you doing? He goes down. There is no buyback for this PL. And it's like the unthinkable has happened for RR. Now they have to hold the 4-5 alacrity most of the weight. But TNC, they know that if Drew wants to buy back, it's going to be now. But it's going to be never as RR jumps in and sends the top. There's a big game from TNC. They got up to Alacrity will be roasted by Gab. Start off the Hustler. Hustler now goes down. And RR is down to just 2 members to withstand the onslaught of TNC. And by all gods and lords that are watching from above, God knows RR and completely missed their timing. Sonic by XY able to chip out him. TNC goes to full retreat, but will be called out as RML re-engage. Mass helping out, land the Inferno Blade plus the storm into an arrow. That is just out for 50 seconds. But it seems like RR not really calling it quits just yet, but the base is a total shambles.
That was a very questionable decision from Drew. He walked right into all of TNC and then he just got perma-stunned. Absolutely nothing that he could do. Try and protect him.
Oh, Hustler gets caught again. Well, guarding beef not enough. 15 more seconds until PL comes back.
I think in that play, they're just getting wrecked.
It's mega creeps for TNC. Now, RR, as if the challenge TNC's draft for them. And now they have to play against mega creep. Scale expert the 5% no fear talent. TNC just got themselves a huge lead.
That was such a questionable fight in that bottom lane. There was no reason for them to just suddenly engage TNC. But and the worst thing about it was that Drew was the first one to die. He walked out for that Scardy. So I'm not sure if it was him thinking that he was maybe invincibly tanky, that they would be able to help him if he ended up getting stunned. But I just saw him sitting right in front of the DK as the HP just went down, down, down until it hit that 0 mark. And of course, when he's dead, it now falls back to Alacrity and KY to hold the fort. What could you really expect from those two? They've invested everything into Drew.
You know what, Winter let's say it's safe to KY got caught, but he had right? So if he dies in the fight, he can kind of continue the defense. But Drew was like, let me try and help. Team wasn't ready for that, which was pretty unfortunate.
Well, I'm just trying to think, why would you want to see as maybe that they thought all of the PLs there were illusions?
No, it's so easy to clear the illusions. All the items to see is made to deal with PL. The team just was not ready.
Yeah,
Probably they didn't communicate right. Drew's like, oh, guys, I don't have buyback. KRXY, he had buyback, so if he goes down and they want to defend, he can just buyback and hold and kind of play it slow, but probably a bit miscommunication from RR caused them be in this state right now. 21k advantage for TNC. They have Meg in their favor. The next step is just take the throne from RR.
And of course, the Grimstroke's got Aghanim now, so it's got a lot tougher.
And Drew, well, he has to save for buyback, and he feels
Divine Raven.
compelled. Maripian, he actually queued up before Scarly. I think he queued up Butterfly or something, but it was definitely not the Divine Raven. But because of the position that he's right now, Divine Raven is the choice to go. He has no other options.
I think if anything though, the biggest thing he'd actually want to go for is just have buyback available. Because every time we've seen Drew sort of crumble is that he'll buy something out and then he just comes in with no buyback.
No buyout. Guys, strong. Not strong enough, so unfortunately. The Roshan. Let's see if this one has the act or it was very strong. But either way, it's going to be really amazing for TNT. And, well, he needs more like this. I think the RML is not caught there. Just can back up. This is a free roll. There's no way that R can catch this. Just want to know if this will have the axe or the pressure. I guess we'll find out. Jeez. Oh yeah, primal roll. Okay. Beastmaster. Yes, the axe blessing. Wall axe. The wall axes. This is the final nail in the coffin. TNC just need one more fight and that's the GG for RR.
Yeah, we'll see if they can hammer that nail in, but it's up to Reality Rift. They've somehow got to get this game on its head. It's that one team fight. They lost so much from it, and even Tim's on this Mirana, he's getting so farmed. Everyone on the team is scaling, whereas you take a look at Reality Rift, everyone's sort of stagnant.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to move anywhere because there's no space to farm.
Well, the good news is Alacrity and Drew both have buybacks, so they can stand their ground against TNC. But they have to make sure that the rest of the team is there with them.
Oh, look at that mana! Oh my goodness! Wow.
It's okay because we too much the other dragon form. They're just gonna run in. Well, TNC, they're waiting for the final push. They are together right here, right now. Starting the ice trap and the Aether Remnant, and the Breeze and the Lappy. I'm ready. They get silent on to Gabby down to half health. But how I want to play slow and set the race. Put in the midst of everything. Drop the soul by, but they able to get the Aegis getting out as well. Here comes the primal rock. Great and from top KP. And now Drew turns his attention onto Armel. It seems like TNC, they're being forced to the rough. Gabby gets out of the way. She must have formed by Armel, but Armel is backed up. And the entirety of Armel is on top of him. Sonic commit just to make sure that this Doom goes down. Doom has no buyback though. RR, they're going to continue to chase. Fourth level pass. Tries to look for a trap. KB TP's out. TNC full disengage as RR. Dr. Stragglers and well, it's not running where further as Alacrity comes back. And only Armel has the buyback. So this is a slight window of opportunity for Reality Rift.
Is it not rapier time? I see a courier going to that secret shop. Is it just rapier time?
Now,
We'll find out in a minute. And with the travel picked up onto Alacrity, and take a look at what the DK is doing. He's actually hoping to try and pull their attention back by throwing themselves in that bottom lane and maybe even threatening that Ancient. Hopefully there's some TPs available, because if that DK starts wailing on the Ancient, we're going to be looking at a lot of problems. Only Nuts is defending the Ancient as well. A poor Kira cannot defend the base from a Black Dragon.
and Drew bought out.
And then TP too.
Drew bought out Divine Rapier. And the saving for TNC right now is that both KP and Armel have buybacks, whereas Alacrity and they both bought out. Alacrity got boost of travel and Drew got the Divine Rapier. Buyback is going to be a big surprise for RR, so they have to be really careful.
They've got to finish the game now.
Triple arrow, now blink right in. Immediate buy. Boom. Pull right back by the primal ball. Double and a back to front, but where's the defense? The defense is that they pull back. Divine Rapier drop. TNC. They knew this was gonna happen, and RR they just dropped the ball. Husband getting caught out. That's a dead bounty hunter.
That may have been it.
And all that effort to buy out. That's the tip. I would have tipped Drew if I was in the game. That was the biggest mistake. RR just not ready for that.
I mean, they couldn't really be ready for it because they TP KYXY back to base because Gabby went to the bottom lane and forced the TP back, which was huge.
They needed KYXY and Alacrity. They needed the entire team.
They could have had Nuts even. Nuts would have been there with the ice pass, and maybe you could have actually looked at the turnaround, but the desperation from Reality Rift, you could see it.
They just needed the whole team to be there. The team was not there. They're not supposed to fight, but now they're trying to defend the last and Sonic Wave. BKB pop by Gabby. Look at him turn around with the very big. He says that's just tanning and KYXY now. Queen of Pain not anymore. Just the blink to safety and TNC. It's gonna will on the throne. And off the Iron Rapier, the unfortunate ending of RR. TNC is just gonna take this game 1. And despite RR's best effort, this is not a game. The throne goes down. They take it. This is 1-0 for them.
They showed signs of life. Really Rift, they hung on for so long and they were waiting for that PL to come online, but just the big fights that they needed to win